Mark is coming along in his sexy sweater.
Oh no, and you're already talking about the sweater.
So Mark's mom decided to give Mark a gift this year. We saw her when we were in Toronto briefly, and she's like, "Oh, look, I got you a sweater."
Because we told our families no gifts, but my mom has a hard time with that.
And so she wanted to give him something small, so she got him this beautiful sweater that has the Grinch on it.
And I'm gonna do this for just a minute.
It comes with a twist. Ready?
It's terrible, and I hope my mom doesn't watch this, because it's the worst gift ever.
I mean, it's a perfect thing to wear when you're going to like an ugly Christmas party. Ugly sweater at Christmas party. That's what it is.
It's so funny. It's so funny. So yeah, so happy holidays. Let's start with that.
Yes, happy holidays, guys. And we thought it was really important for us to do a quick live stream, just because one, we enjoy doing them so much to connect with everyone, but also I find that there's a couple of interesting things that we can discuss on this live stream today.
Yeah, and I thought that first, we were talking about how to begin, right? And we were like, maybe we should talk about the post we put on 2 days ago. And so on Instagram and Facebook, we put a post talking about how we interact and celebrate Christmas together. And it had a ton of interaction, and it connected really deeply and allowed us to connect even further with all the people that it resonated with. So I don't know, maybe we should start talking about that, because it seems very...
Yeah, I think so. Sorry, I'm just seeing comments saying I can't hardly hear you.
Oh, can you guys hear us? Let us know in the live thing here. Maybe we'll just move up a little bit. Let's move a little closer. We're moving in closer, guys.
Camera. We're using an iPhone actually to stream this, because to stream it properly through camera, it's just like a nightmare to do it with YouTube. So we're gonna get super close.
Super close. You'll have to come down a little. Okay. So
I hope this is better, you guys.
Hopefully that works. So yes, it's a little low. Yes, I can hear.
Okay.
Everything seems to be okay. We're back. We're copacetic again.
Yeah, so how do we celebrate Christmas? As you guys saw, Mark and I have not been giving each other gifts for the last...
Well, they didn't see it. That's why we're telling you.
Right, on Instagram.
So the whole idea of what we do for Christmas is that we don't give each other gifts for Christmas or birthdays or Valentine's Day or
any sort of celebrations or holidays. Because we find that maybe in our stage in our relationship and
we
our
never
life,
did though.
Yeah, even when we first started dating.
We didn't actually.
I bought you some weird stuff before.
Well, you bought me a Nintendo Wii once.
I did.
That's true.
But I think right now what we really value is quality time, and that really to us is the true gift. And not just quality time with ourselves, but also with our families. You know, our families are kind of all spread out through Canada, so whenever we get to get together for a holiday, it's very special because we don't get too many opportunities to do that.
And I think that's what's really interesting is there's such pressure, and it seems like every year they amp up the pressure on the fact that you should be buying more for people, and that, and I think it's unspoken, but there's an implication that the things that you buy, and sometimes even how much you spend, represents the value of the relationship of the person to you. And I think that was really troublesome for us when we met, because I don't think there's anything that I could buy that would represent equally to the value of our relationship to me. What? Why are you laughing?
I'm just laughing at your hair.
It's out of control today. Oh my God, why? Is someone saying something?
Yeah.
What are they saying? So the idea to us was like, maybe we should sort of step aside from this kind of crazy Christmas commercialized tradition and go back to the fundamental of what Christmas and the holiday season. And we don't even really use the word Christmas that much. It's really about the holiday season, because all of a sudden during the holidays everything slows down. Everything.
And I think that is what we really love, is that the whole world kind of stops for a moment and everyone just retracts and pays attention to what's most important in their lives as friends and family. So
it's each other.
It's each other, exactly. Human beings and human connection. I think that is all what we're looking for.
Because then in a way, like, you're giving each other something that's even more valuable than anything you could purchase, which is time. And to share time with each other and experience, and to to make it a priority to do so, and then to share it with the other people that you love in your family or your friends or whoever that might be. And now it sounds like we're doing like some kind of like Christmas spirit PSA, but it's true. And the more we've done it, and the further we like draw a line in the sand and say no, even less of like with our families now, no more gifts, just time, the gift of time.
I think that's the most precious gift because time is so finite. You know, we don't know how much time each of us has. Not to go sad or depressing in this topic, but it's true, you know. And so when we have the opportunity to actually just spend time with each other, that is what we remember, and that is what gets left in the hearts. It's not what someone gifted me 2 years ago. It's, oh, that experience I had at that moment of my life. And that's what really sticks within us, you know, as we transition through this life. So that's kind of how we celebrate Christmas, how we see Christmas, what we're doing on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. We're actually completely turning off our computers, our phones, because you know, as you guys know right now, we're working on getting this program finished for you guys. It's been a little bit stressful in our life, so giving ourselves 2 days to just unplug and spend time with our family. You know, we're on Vancouver Island at the moment, so you know, we're gonna go and just go to a beach. We love going to this place called Souk, which has this beautiful sandy beach. And even though it's cold, you just bundle up and you sit there. And I think that's our plan for this Christmas, to sit and maybe bring a thermos of like hot chocolate or coffee and just spend some time. So that's kind of our plan. We maybe watch some Christmas movies.
To watch probably Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
And maybe what else do you like? You like Elf, right?
There we go.
Actually, one we started watching recently, a couple of years ago, and we watch every year now, is The Four Christmases, which was like a hidden gem for us, I think. Four Christmases with is it Vince Vaughn? Yeah, Vince Vaughn's in it. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I don't know. And then we had to actually just like unplug. And so my dad's flying in, and Juliana's mom is flying in, and so it's going to be really special because we'll take Prince and we'll go to the beach, and again,
that'll be Christmas.
That's Christmas to us. We'll have dinner together, but I don't think it's going to be some extravagant thing. And we made a pact that it's sort of like the un-Christmas Christmas.
Speaking of dinners, actually, we just posted a blog last night, and we'll put a link to it after the live stream, where we shared a couple of our favorite plant-based meals that we're going to be creating for this holiday season. So if any of you guys are interested in, you know, what else you can create for dinner or anything that's vegan that you want to put on your dinner table, we got some ideas. So we'll put a link later so you can go check it out.
Yeah.
So that's Christmas, and I think it was important for us to transition from the Christmas idea in regards to spending time together and quality time into retreat, as you guys know, the program that we're...
Well, because we offered it yesterday as a contest on our social media, sort of as a follow-up to that, to be able to give someone the opportunity, well, to give 10 people the opportunity to not just get a free copy for themselves, but to also get a free copy for a friend.
Yeah, and possibly do the retreat together with that friend or spouse or partner.
So that it's an experiential gift rather than a material gift. And it's kind of counterintuitive in a way, because it still costs money, but at the same time, that's why I wanted to give it to give it to 10 people. And honestly, the response to this,
it's insane. You guys, there's like almost 800 comments, and every single comment on our Instagram, I'm not even counting Facebook, there was even more on Facebook, and every single story, each and every one of you guys shared, it was so
it made it really, really difficult for us to even think about how do we pick it. So we really did pick a lot of them, most of them at random, because
some that were really
there was
touching,
really deep stuff in there.
Yeah.
It was hard. Like we sat there for like an hour going through just reading, and it was like, well, I think what we realized with this was that the most important part about that contest, it's so over the like marketing and over the top, but like that doing that, the deeper value to it was seeing you guys interact with each other, giving you an opportunity to tell somebody and tag them why you wanted to give them the gift and why you thought that they deserved it. And so it created this really cool interaction between friends, like on a post that we had nothing to do with in a way.
Yeah, I was actually reading a lot of the comments and people responding to their friends, tagging them, and it was just like this exchange of love and gratitude going in between the people. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Like, you know, maybe we can't give away to every single person that commented, but even the fact that they were able to have that interaction with their friend or their loved one. It's like, wow, that's really special. So.
And what's funny is another Christmas movie, Love Actually, at the end of it, I think, or maybe it's at the beginning, they talk about if you ever need it to be lifted up in life or to realize that there is goodness in humanity, to go stand at an airport, because then you'll see people arriving and the interaction of loved ones reconnecting and that kind of thing. And now, in a weird sort of way, when I was reading it, I was like, this is like being at an airport in the same sense, because I'm sort of like a fly on the wall.
But almost deeper, because it's not just people greeting each other, but it's people sharing how much they care about the other person and how much they think they should use this to, better themselves or just to heal or whatever they're going through.
Or whatever it was that they thought they needed it for. And so that was really cool, because I thought about Love Actually, it's like, which is another Christmas movie to watch. And it was really, I don't know, it made it really special to read the comments. So if you need to be lifted a little bit about the human spirit, hop on that post on Instagram and just start reading some comments and the interactions. It was so beautiful.
So
it really was.
We did pick 10 winners, and we are going to announce them here on the live stream. However, we'll also message you guys privately. So because these people it's a mixture between Instagram and Facebook. We wanted to make it fair. And so you'll get an email or an Instagram message from us saying, hey, you're the winner, and you'll get a coupon to get a
Actually, it won't be a coupon. We'll trigger an email after we let you know to watch out for the email from the app that Retreat comes through now, because it's on an app this time, unlike all our other programs. So the app will trigger an email which will give you your sign-in credentials so that you can get your iOS, your Android, or go log into the web browser, kind of Netflixy thing.
So let's read out the winners, and then we can talk a little bit about the treat.
Yeah.
Okay, so winner number 1 is Lily. Okay, I'm going to totally screw this last name up. Wogsiachowski. I'm sorry. Chowski. I'm sorry if I say that wrong. I wish I could read everyone's story, but I feel like it'll make this live stream a little bit too long.
10 heart-melting stories.
Yeah, but seriously, like, each and every one of these stories that we read, it touched us so deeply.
Hey, she's there.
Oh, yay! Okay, amazing. You're here. Well, congratulations. You're going to get a message from us, and we would love to share a program for yourself and also your friend as well. Then we have Coco Mango, which was another very touching story. We have Cecily.
Cecily.
Maybe it's like
CE space CI space LY. Is that an Instagram name or is it the real name?
It was a Facebook name.
Okay.
So maybe it's who knows? Then we have Julie Brewer Downs. We have Stephanie Preston. Francis Popard. And then we have John Teeter Allo Zenzero. Christine Willing. Translucent Light Coach.
That's a good name.
And Velocitane. So
you should spell that last one.
Beloccitane.
Okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
Anyways, all of you guys, honestly, thank you for sharing such very heart-touching and heart-melting stories. And thank you to everyone else. I'm sorry. Honestly, when I was seeing it, I was like, I wish we could just like.
Well, we're gonna do it again. I think for New Year's, we'll do the same thing for New Year's in about a week, and maybe we'll do more this time because. The amount of stories, it was just amazing.
And the amount of people that I find really need this right now, especially with 2020 coming in, it's just like, oh my goodness. Like, please, I would be more than happy to share as much as we can with those people that, especially the ones that maybe in their life can't afford something like this, but really, really need it. And so we are more than happy to give that for sure.
So you could DM us if that's you.
Yes.
You could. Just saying. Yeah. But hopefully that doesn't make people start creating situations up in their head where they think they really need it, but they don't. You know what I'm saying. But guys, seriously, we're here for you.
Yeah.
So I just want to, just to take a quick left, I want to actually answer a couple of really quick questions about Retreat, and then we'll move on, because I want to stop talking about Retreat. We work far too hard on it. We spend way too much time focusing on it.
It's literally a little bit of like our obsession, because right now of us with Retreat, which is really exciting, and for those of you guys that have purchased our previous programs, what we're doing with this program right now is so different because we're putting it on this completely different platform, which is the iOS, Android, and like a web Netflix browser. So with the transition, it's come a lot of headaches trying to like figure this out. So it's almost like we've been a little bit day and night just trying to get everything working and moving. But we're almost there. We're really, really close, and we're really excited for you guys to be able to experience it. But yes, so as we're moving into this new platform, there has been a lot of questions coming up.
And the main one is the confusion between the word retreat, physical retreat, and the fact that it starts on the 1st. So just to make it quite clear, the retreat itself, we are selling it, like releasing it to you guys on the 1st. It'll actually be out on the 31st so that anyone anywhere in the world can start it the morning of the 1st. And sure, it's encouraged that you do it starting on the 1st for the first 7 days, because what an amazing way to start your 2020. But it's just like all our other programs. You'll have access to all the videos and everything that comes with it for all time through that app. So you could actually do it over 14 days. You could take a day off here or there. You could do it, like, there's a lot of different ways that you could apply it into your life. We suggest the 7 days, but it's up to you. Once you own it, it's up to you. Can do it. It is yours to do over and over with whoever you want, whenever you want.
Exactly, and you can structure it to fit your life, and this is the beauty of a home retreat, is that we wanted to give the opportunity for somebody to experience an experience, it's funny, 2 words, but go through this journey where it's more than just 2 yoga classes a day. You know, Mark and I, we're working really hard to create something that will allow people to go through this journey where, you know, including in this 2 classes a day, you also have like journaling exercises. We have a lot of discussions and topics. We want to share ideas that we try to plant in your mind, and just to help people through whatever stage they are in their life, whether it's looking for healing, whether they're looking for strength, maybe they just need to better themselves in a different way, like whatever they're looking to get out of that, we're trying to provide little tiny seeds to give a little to each and every one of them.
And I think it's been really uplifting because we've seen the response so far from so many of you guys. And I think we both talked about this before, and we really want to say thank you for that, because I don't know, we're pretty nervous about this concept. No one's ever really done it before, and to see that after all the energy that we put towards it and the time planning it and structuring it and then now presenting it as like this is what it is, and seeing that like you guys get it, it means so much to us. Like I don't know, it really, like, it was like a huge, I don't know, breath of like, oh, like,
it's always nervous to put something new out, but I think with this as well as creating it, we had to go through our own journey. We had to really dig deep into ourselves and understand, like, what is it within us that makes us act a certain way, react a certain way, think a certain way, and how can we, you know, change that, and how can we heal ourselves to better ourselves, and then how can we bring that topic to this retreat to guide others to kind of go through that same experience, if that makes sense. But so it was definitely a beautiful journey for ourselves to create it, and now we're so close to be able to share it with all of you guys.
And then the last thing that comes up a lot with everyone online about the retreat is, will we ever do a physical retreat? And guess what? Everybody, here he is. He's making his inaugural appearance in this live stream. Come on, bud. You came over here. Come on. Okay. There we go. So this was Prince, everybody. And he just woke up.
On for the camera. There we go.
He just woke up. So, take it easy. Don't knock the camera. The big question is, will we ever do a physical retreat?
Yes, and the answer to that is yes, for sure. We would absolutely love to do a retreat where people can actually come in physical form and meet together.
But what was really interesting when somebody made a comment actually about how sustainable and responsible a virtual retreat is, it really made us start thinking about my dog knocking over the coffee and spilling it on the carpet. Prince, you're a maniac. All right, you carry on, Juliana. I'm going to grab a little napkin here about the physical retreat.
So what we were saying about the physical retreat is that, in a way, this allows us to not ask anybody to fly across the world, and you know, it touches a little bit on the environmental side, because you know, to ask 20 people, 30 people to fly across the world would definitely put an environmental footprint on flying, and that's a big discussion these days.
Well, it's a huge discussion, right? And I think what's really cool about it is, so when we think about doing that new physical retreat, we want to make it worth it.
We do.
So it's about finding the right causes to align with, to justify the travel.
Exactly, and we also want to include more people into it, not just students, but like I think when we get it organized. We want to have like other healers involved in it, and like to really give people a reason, if they're gonna fly across the world and go through all of that, to have the most healing, incredible experience, and to include other people that give so much in their own skills, into the world, and so be able to create something very, very special. And with that, it requires a lot of planning. And again, like, we're not in no rush, because the thing is, like, we've had so many offers from so many different retreat centers and yoga studios, like, hey, if you guys want to come here and host a retreat,
But we don't want to just kind of.
but it's just like, sure, like, we can, and we can ask people to fly out and charge money for it, and then we'll do classes, and we'll probably, we would create something like that for sure. But at the same time, it's like, if we do it, we want to do it like extra incredible. And
Yeah, and then when people leave and they're done, then they are caring for the light that is created there at that retreat. Again, like, justifying the whole idea of, just what you have to charge to do these things, let alone the environmental impact. It's a little crazy. So, and that was, again, one of the response reasons why, when we thought about doing the program retreat, we're like, well, it's under $100 versus, like, I've seen some retreat costs be like $3,000-$4,000.
Oh,
and you're just
more
like,
than that sometimes, depending on
Yeah,
where it
depending on
is,
where.
right? When you add the flight into it and the accommodation, they definitely charge a lot of money. But again, like, it's definitely worth it. I'm not saying don't do it if you can afford it, and if that's something that you really feel like you need to escape somewhere and be somewhere else and go through retreat experience, do it.
yeah, no, it's great.
But for us, I think what we wanted to offer the community, and for a lot of people that maybe are not in a position in their life to be able to do that, still give them an opportunity to go through something that will just give them a little bit more. Maybe they won't be able to be on a beach somewhere doing yoga with a waterfall, but at the same time, they'll still be challenged in different ways to really activate this self-growth and evolution within themselves, and that's really important. And that's something that I find retreats is supposed to give someone, is not just a vacation, but it's something to take away from and to better themselves with, and come back home and be like, wow, I had like a real retreat, but also I've learned so much, and I'm ready to step into this new me, into this new way of living my life. So that's kind of where we stand with retreats. So the answer is yes, of course, we'll definitely love to do it, and it will come one day. But when it comes, like, we know it's going to be a really incredible experience for everyone, and I don't know, it'll be exciting. Like, I started telling Mark, I was like, there's this healer that I love, this like sound healing, and like, I'd love to have him part of this. And I've met so many people through our journey so far that offer so much into the world with their own skills and their own teachings, and I think to bring everybody together and to give someone the experience of having a taste of so many different creative spirits out there, it would be a really, really beautiful experience for everybody.
Yeah, I love that.
I just saw a couple questions come up in regards to downloading and
Oh,
streaming.
yeah, go ahead. Because I asked for some other questions, so if you guys want to ask anything generally,
About
just
retreat? Yeah.
No, not about retreat, just generally. I think I'm sick of talking about retreat.
But I just want, the last thing I want to say about the program is because it just keeps coming up. And there was people asking if you can stream it or you can download it onto their laptops. So the way retreat works is if you go on through your laptop, you can stream it directly, just like you were to watching Netflix, right? You put on a movie. But you can also download it, and it'll download right directly onto your laptop. So then, if you're ever traveling and you don't have Wi-Fi, you can just play it off of that. And same thing that works with an app. So if you have it on your phone, for example, you can download it into the phone, and then through the phone, I know some people have those smart TVs, you can Chromecast it or stream it right directly through the phone onto the big screen TV, which is really exciting because this actually gives people an opportunity to watch it on their TVs rather than just a laptop. So that was all I wanted to clear up here.
No, that's good. Because I'm ready to move on. I'm like, let's get on with our life. So any new Pilates videos in 2020?
Yeah, so when we were creating Retreat, we were actually, of course, shooting a lot more than that. We were shooting tons of Patreon content, and then we were also shooting tons of YouTube content for you guys. So we definitely saw the many requests for Pilates. So I think we shot 2 different Pilates classes. So that is going to be coming out, and we'll definitely create a challenge out of that.
Yeah, actually, you went crazy on that Pilates. Yeah, she went nuts. And so we were like, we should make that a challenge because it's not just a regular Pilates class.
Yeah, it'll give you a good workout. So yes, the answer to that is definitely more and more content is coming out for you guys.
Okay, so Joshua asks, do either of you paint or do any other form of art?
Well, Mike plays music.
Yeah, I play a lot of music.
Yeah.
We actually just got our piano refinished, and I've been playing that a lot the last couple of days since it arrived back home. It's like an old family heirloom
It's like
piano.
a 100-year-old piano.
It's 110, I think,
Really?
and Heitzman. And so So it's back for the first time ever. It got a I don't know, a facelift, and it's just like it's redone and it's beautiful and it sounds amazing. I mean, it's always sounded amazing. I almost feel like a little bit of the age got lost from it. So music is something that I do.
Yeah. For me, I love to paint, but I don't do it very often, nor am I very good at it.
There is no good at all. Art is just art.
I know, but I do. When I have a spare moment, I would love to do it, but unfortunately, I haven't had a spare moment for a long time. But,
well, that can lead into what are your plans for 2020?
so actually for 2020, we are planning to spend most of our time most likely in Costa Rica. And reason being, it actually touches a little bit on the whole travel and eco footprint subject of it all, is we realize that the impact that air travel is causing on the world. And for us to do our job, obviously we can't just sit in one office forever, so we do have to expand ourselves, but we thought if we spend most of our time in one place that is beautiful and warm and that allows us to create tons of inspiring content but be located in one place, not have to fly everywhere, then I think that's the right next step for us in our journey.
And it's really close to so many other places around there we can shoot at, and which is really exciting. And then when we do fly and travel, I think in 2020 our big thing is we're going to try and do our best to we actually have a video shot about paying our own voluntary carbon tax, which we're going to calculate for the year of 2019 and pay it. But then for 2020, we just want to make sure, like when we go places, we want to tie it into things that help bring more high energy to why we're going. And something I thought about while walking the dog yesterday that I haven't even talked about Juliana with, I was like, theoretically speaking, what about if you flew standby? Because the whole thing is, if a standby seat is empty, the flight's going with or without you. So to wait around in an airport to fly standby just kind of means you're hitching a ride. You're not necessarily driving the air industry that is obviously having such a huge negative impact. So maybe we'll start just flying standby when we have to fly as well. So that again,
and having like a real reason for it. Before it was more just our wanderlust side of us. We just wanted to experience so much, and obviously we still want to do that. But I think now looking at with the state of the world right now and where we are, our planet is in crucial danger, and so I think right now our plan
if we can go to like a certain places for certain things to bring to and shed light on different ideas or different organizations, as well as to do our job and make our content the way we do, then again there's a higher purpose rather than just another Pilates video or another this or another that. And I think that's really important to us because we've been doing a ton of soul searching on this year and trying to really make sense of it all. So we realize that Costa Rica, we love it there.
We really love it there. We love the vibe. We love the people. We have many friends there actually. So it's like it creates a nice community for us of comfort. And we find that it gives us the space to create so much yoga content for you guys. Like we can go to a beach and just shoot a yoga video anytime and post it, and it'll still capture that energy and that vibe that we feel Boho Beautiful brings to the online world and to you guys that watch our videos.
So Maddie asked what our astrological signs are, and then Amber Henderson said she looks like a Taurus, he looks like a Gemini.
Weird. That is so true.
That's your guess, she says.
You are,
Amber.
You are correct.
It's fantastic, actually.
Wow. I've never had anyone guess it so well. Your hair is just like
let's just get it going, eh? Let's just, like, there we go. Speed Racer, they're one of those Japanimations. Is that what we're going for here? My hair's out of control. I don't know what to do with it since I cut it all off, and it's been a nightmare.
Anyways,
Shayla asks if we want kids. Go ahead, Juliana.
Yes, we definitely do want kids. When will that happen? I don't know. We'll see. Whatever the universe decides.
Yeah. How do you keep calm during Christmas time, from Caro Taro? I think that's interesting, because I think during Christmas time itself, we just shut down, and
it's actually a very calm time for us, I find, because we are not in this
retreat mode and putting out a program mode, which is interesting. And I think it ties back to the beginning. How do we keep calm? Is we put zero expectation on it. And I think earlier in life, when we used to, whether it's New Year's or Christmas or birthdays or things like that, and you have like this idea that if it's enough, then it will be enough of an experience. So like you set these kind of pillars and markers in what you want to accomplish in that night or that day, or the gifts you want to give, or the decorations you want to have, or the food it's going to be, and you create this whole idea of what that means to you. And then all kinds of people have these ideas, and they all get in a room together, family, around a dinner table, and it gets crazy because everyone has a different idea of what that time should be. And then there's all these weird, like passive aggressive or aggressive kind of struggles and stress points and pressure. And I think as soon as we took our expectations and we threw them out the window, and we said, we're going to do this our way, and we're going to cherish the time and the space, all of a sudden, Christmas is the calmest time of year for us.
Yeah.
Like, it literally, like, I can't think of 2 days of the year where it's more peaceful. And we even do incorporate family too, but we've kind of just sort of set ground rules about that they can't come in to Christmas with us thinking that it has to be this. We just have to let it be.
Just
managing expectations.
Sure.
People ask us actually a lot about our relationship too, about how do you guys do it? And I think it's a lot about managing our expectations of each other and about our expectations together. And as long as you manage those expectations, you don't create something you think you should be, and you just be with what you are. It's been probably, I don't know, the number one life hack for us in the last, since we've been together for the last 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, no, exactly. We don't even know how long we've been.
No, I don't know. Like 8
I
years?
mean, people always ask, and it's like,
Well, it's like I've been with you forever.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. It's just how it is. How long have we been together? See, you don't
yeah.
even know either. So don't be calling the kettle black or whatever that expression is.
No, almost 9 years. Almost. Well, actually, it'll be 9 years, like this summer.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So we're coming
Oh,
up.
there was one question I did want to touch upon. Someone asked, I'm sorry, it was Mona Matsuik, and she said that she started doing yoga 2 months ago, and that you love our videos. Thank you so much. I'm really glad to hear that. But she's asking about, do you know any books or programs where I could learn more about the basics of yoga?
That's timely.
There's tons and tons, and I think once you dive deep into it, I mean, you can lose yourself into it because there's so much information. Not to go back to retreat, I'm not trying to go back there, but there is something special that we put together that comes with the retreat program, which is like an introduction to yoga. And we're actually going to take a very small portion of it and release it
For free.
For free.
To just give to people
Yeah.
as almost like we're going to call it like a yoga guide,
Like a
handbook.
Handbook, yeah. So it's very, very basic information, not to overwhelm anyone that's really just getting into yoga, which just talks about like the 8 limbs of yoga, just a little bit of the history, meaning of different breathing techniques like mudras, or like what's the meaning of this and that, and
it's a good foundation.
Yeah, it just builds like a really nice yoga foundation for anyone that's starting into it. And then obviously once you really become interested, you can start to dive into, deeper texts and studying. And even if you go and do like a yoga teacher training, obviously they're gonna fill you up with so much knowledge. But this was just our contribution to anyone out there that wants to just dive a little bit into the yoga. So we have like a fuller version in the yoga retreat, but we're also taking a smaller version of that and putting it up for free for anyone to download off of our website. I think we should be releasing it probably next week, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
So once we do, feel free to download that and just check it out. I think there'll be some information that you can learn, and it'll help you along your practice. Yeah.
Amber asked if we have any tips for beginning inversions, and we actually have a video coming out on YouTube next week or the first week of the year.
Yeah, like a tutorial about inversions.
Which is great. It actually walks through 3 or 4 different inversions and sort of the way to sort of step yourself through it to accomplish all of them.
Exactly.
Will you ever come back into the States?
Maybe.
Oh, and do a tour?
Do a tour.
Probably not. Not anytime soon. Not this year, I don't think.
Not this year.
But we are going to come back down to the States. We want to do a road trip in the winter probably before we go to Costa Rica to just shoot a little bit of content in the desert and spend some time with Prince there.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
How about this one?
Do you plan to come to Ukraine anytime while you're tours?
From Natalia Zubenko.
I have family in Poltava, Ukraine. My grandmother lives there, and hopefully sometime in 2020 I'll definitely be going back just to visit them.
You have to speak louder. Sorry, a couple of people are mentioning that. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh.
Louder.
I said that, yes, I definitely would love to go to Ukraine. I have family out there, and so hopefully in 2020 I'll be visiting again. Because, yeah, you know, when your grandmother's getting old, it's like every year I'm like, I need to see her, just because you never know with life anymore. So, for sure.
And how do you say this name?
Yekaterina Glushevskaya.
Asked, where do you come from originally? And that's very fitting, especially how you pronounce that name.
I was born in Siberia, Russia, and then I moved to Ukraine when I was very young, and my family raised me in Ukraine until I was 10 years old, and then I came out to Canada. So I have family in both Russia, both Ukraine, and my parents live in Canada as well.
And although I was just born in Edmonton, in North Canada, my family's from Ukraine too, which is something crazy we found out we had in common when we met.
His grandparents are Ukrainian, so both Ukrainian blood here.
Okay, I think this is good. We've been longer than we thought because we have to go over to Instagram now. So we're going to continue this over there if you guys want to follow us over
We'll
on Instagram.
probably repeat a couple of similar questions, just an FYI, if you are going to come out on our Instagram and watch us talk. So I apologize that you'll have to hear the same thing a little bit, a couple times.
We can discredit it. It's going to be fun and original, and you guys are going to have a great time. We're going to not say one word the same that we said here. That's a lie.
Well, we're going to hop over to Instagram. But thank you guys. Thank you for joining us today on our little live stream, holiday live stream. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas for those that celebrate.
And happy holidays to everybody.
Yes, and a happy new year. Maybe we'll do a live stream before the New Year's.
Yeah, maybe we will. If you guys enjoyed this, let us know. And maybe we'll hop on again and do this one more time before the end of 2019. But in closing, if we don't, it's a great opportunity to just say thank you guys for helping fuel us with your energy and your light and your inspiration for what was an incredible year for us, for the two of us.
It was a crazy year, and you guys have been crazy in a beautiful way.
Yeah.
But you guys have been a huge part of it, so thank you. Every day, you know, we just hop on and we read your stories and your comments, and it fills us up so much.
It's
and
beautiful.
It really does give us fuel, especially during the hard times when we need that fuel. It's like, oh, just go back there and read a story. And it's like, thank you. It really touches us, so we appreciate it with all our hearts.
There's no doubt we couldn't do any of this without your guys' energy.
Yeah.
So thank you guys.
Anyways, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year if we don't speak before then, and we send you